That was around 9 o'clock in the evening. I know we're about to come into the 10 o'clock spread hours as well. I'm not going to hold it any longer than that, but for me that's another 2.3 into the bank effectively. So all in all, we've got a -1, we've got a +6, which is 5 in total, and another 2.3, so we've done 8.5% for the day. Good morning, team. Just going to give you a breakdown on Euro-USD trades we took yesterday, which was Monday, the 21st of August. We had a good day for Monday, to be fair. Some really high value, high area, high probability zones that we were trading from. We got some good trades. Didn't hold for as long as we normally would because it's Monday, but I'll talk you through that. And as always, if you're not doing so already, please make sure you hit the subscribe button below. So, getting into the trade. So these are the positions that we took. Okay, you can see that market is overall bearish. Okay, we've got this bearish structure here, and although we had a push up and a breaker structure here, we are expecting price to reject from this zone ultimately. So that's what we're waiting for and we're hoping for. Okay, now I'm gonna hide all of this for you so you can see how I'm getting the trade set up, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so price yesterday morning, if we just use our replay tool, price yesterday morning, taking us back to here, okay, was in an area where we could be looking for shorts. We have this daily level here that we could be looking for. We've got Asia's high there, okay, that we could be looking for short from. I highly recommend you setting up templates for your ray lines, because that can be really, really helpful. Okay, we have this imbalance in here. Let me just get it there. Got imbalance in there, and of course we've got this big zone sat above the imbalance that we are looking as our supply zone effectively. Okay, so let's draw that on as well. So these are our areas of interest. Now remember, we want to be taking trades from areas which are highly likely to give us reversals, good quality liquidity areas, areas where we've got kind of resting orders above. So anything like this that we can see on, the 15 or sometimes even the 5-minute chart. So if we zoom down one, if we can see that there's a good, so for example, this for me is a really good area. Reason why, we've got an imbalance sat there, we've got liquidity sat here, resting liquidity there, we've got Asia sat there. So these are all areas where there's going to be lots of orders set. There's going to be stops there, there's going to be breakout buy orders there. Lots of traders are going to be looking at price to go like that, so they place a buy with a stop below here, with a stop below there, and they expect price to continue upwards. Equally, there's lots of traders who will trade like this, and they'll expect price to take out Asia, for example, and so they'll place their stop above there and hope that it goes down from there, and often that doesn't work. So what we're doing is we're waiting now for a clear manipulation of some of these highs, okay, for us to then go short. So let's just fast forward the time a little bit. I think we got in about, where was it? Yeah, so I think there was an initial trade that we took around here. Yeah. So I caught this one a little bit late, so it caught me a little bit off guard. So you can see we've taken out the Asia high, clearly. And, see this area here. One thing that we have done is, see that there, okay? One thing we have done is we've created a false move for the breakout traders. So they see this rejection of that Asia level from there, and they assume that price is going to go higher, okay? And then what does price do? It comes back down, it stops us out. So if we drop down to the lower time frames, I was a little bit late on this position, but you can see we've got a valid setup, okay? We've had this initial push down, okay, which has given us our breaker structure. Okay, we've then had our false move up here. Okay, so that's now me looking for trades. Okay, I've had an initial push down at an area of liquidity. Now I'm pushing higher. Now I'm looking for a setup. And what you can see here is what we call an MSU setup. So that is a little push up, then another push down, then a manipulation of that, then a push down further. Okay, so that's a really, really good setup that we can follow to get us into trades nice and early. Okay, now for me, I caught this one a little bit late. I think I caught it around here. Okay, and it did end up ultimately in a loss. I was waiting for price, I think, to break this level here before I took any profits out. and as you can see, it didn't quite get there. So ultimately we ended up with a loss on that trade, and then I was looking for other reasons to go short. Now if we zoom in further, okay, one thing I did notice later in the day is in here we've got another clean imbalance, look, so let's mark that out there to there, and we've got another supply zone within, so it's an internal supply, a fractal supply if you want to call it that. So what we're looking at doing now is we're looking for price to basically do exactly the same thing. Okay, we're going to draw these lines out, we're going to drag these into here, so that's our imbalance now filled, as you can see. Okay, balance now filled, and then our fresh supply. Okay, one good thing to note as well is in this major supply, what has price now reached? It's reached that 50% zone. So again, I'm in an area of interest that I'm going to be looking for possible shorts on. Okay, so if we look at what happens from here, so we push up, we have a really good push down. Now for me, I'm thinking, right, okay, we've had, look, we tag that almost to the pip. We tag that fresh supply, we clear out this imbalance, we clear out 50% of this higher time frame supply there, and then we've had a really good rejection. Okay, and then watch how price develops. So again, another really good rejection. Okay, and we can get into any one of these positions. Okay, now for me, let me just show you exactly how I took it. Is that one? Not that one. That one. Yeah, okay, so almost bang on where we took the entry. Okay, so we had a really good push down. Okay, initial false move again, so look what we have here. Okay, initial false move, so that's our first breaker structure. Okay, we then invalidate that move by doing a fake breaker structure, so that makes that breaker structure now fake. So breaker structure, another push up, that should be protected, remember, so that's a fake breaker structure. And then after that we've had the real breaker structure here. Okay, that now gives us a really clear indication that we can look at going short, and we take the short with a safe stop, and as you'll be able to see, it ended up taking us really well down to about 6R all in all. Very little retracement back up. We had a bit of a kind of macking about for a little bit, and then ultimately I took a very, very small other position later on in the day, only because the setup was pretty clean. Let me just try and find it for you. That one, not that one. Where is it? Let's just try and find it. So that's our trade finished. I think we came out around there. It's over here. Let me just zoom up a little bit, speed it up a little bit. Okay, and so we got our, so I saw price was kind of struggling to get down to these areas. I didn't expect any kind of major lows to be blown. Ultimately, it's something that, you know, it's a Monday at the end of the day. We want to be playing a little bit safer on Mondays, only because price has a habit of kind of reversing on you. And, you know, often on a Monday, what you'll find is price will typically just make price action like this. Let me just find my brush. Where's it gone? Okay, so that's usually Monday moves. It's very kind of rangy and up and down, and then we normally have a manipulation in Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the bigger move Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's a bearish scenario. Equally, in a bullish scenario, what we're having is we're having that Monday move where it's kind of mucking about. We then have a manipulation move, and then the bigger move for the rest of the week. So it's just something to keep an eye on a Monday. You do want to trade it a little bit differently. That being said, when price started to push back up, what happened ultimately is we came into this area of supply. I'll just show you. Okay, so we got a clean supply there, and we had an imbalance just below, as you can see there. So for me, this was another trade opportunity, and another good day so far. I was pretty happy to take a very small entry. I think I took it about a quarter position, only because the trade was there ultimately. Let me get rid of some of this and you'll be able to see it a little bit clearer. Okay, so price came in, took out our imbalance. This is very clearly a supply zone that we want to pay attention to. We've also got, if you see here, what have we got below the supply zone? We've got multiple points of liquidity. So we've got that liquidity point there. We've got this liquidity point here. We've got this liquidity point here. and we've got an area where we like to see reversals on. So what we're looking for is we're looking for a very similar setup, okay? So push down, initial breaker structure, okay, break up. So this again is our MSU setup. So push down, push up, push down, invalidate the move, and then we're hoping for, you know, a further push down like that. Once we get that manipulation, okay, breaking that structure, giving us that false move, so that's now our fake breaker structure effectively, okay? So we've had a push down, we've had a breaker structure here, that creates a fake breaker structure, that's a manipulation move. That tells me that there's bigger money in the marketplace that's likely to cause this price to go down further. Again, we got into this one a little bit later, but you can see it move quite well. We came out all in all, and my break-even point was here. So once we push past there, that's now I'm at break-even. And we took out and retested our Asia high. Okay, so for me, that was around 9 o'clock in the evening. I know we're about to come into the 10 o'clock spread hours as well. I'm not going to hold it any longer than that, but for me, that's another 2.3 into the bank effectively. So all in all, we've got a -1, we've got a +6, which is 5 in total, and another 2.3. So we've done 8.5% for the day. If you enjoy this content, please make sure you subscribe to the below. Really appreciate any likes and comments below as well, and hopefully catch you in the next one. Cheers.